Hello and welcome to Radio Faces, brought to you by HCC TV. I'm ND Kalu, and he is Hall of Fame sports writer for the Chronicle, John the General McClain. When you're in your car, tune to 610 and you can hear him. And if you're in front of your computer, do what I do all the time. Go to chron.com to check out his amazing articles.
And you can hear Indy Kalu regularly on Sports Radio 610. He played 12 years in the NFL. At defensive end for the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Texans. So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to football, chasing quarterbacks, stopping quarterbacks. So we're going to talk to Indy right off the bat on our really big shoe here at the HCC Main Street Studios about Matt Schaub. What do you think about him being out?
How do you not start the show talking about Matt Schaub? This is a big news to the casual fan, but after I heard the news, I thought, woe was me, woe was the fan of the Houston Texans. But when you really look at it, when you look at Matt Leinart, when you look at this entire team, I'm going to go ahead and say they don't miss a beat. Not because Matt Schaub isn't a very good quarterback. I believe he is. But I think they've been surrounded by great players. Kubiak loves working with different quarterbacks. And Matt Leinart, I still think that there's a question mark on him. He only played 17 games, he only started 17 games in his 4 seasons in Arizona. I don't know what type of quarterback he is because I personally don't believe he received a fair shake when he was in Arizona. This is going to be an exciting time for the Houston Texans.
It's a great opportunity for Matt Leinart. Now, Matt Schaub has the Liz Frank injury on the joint on the top of his right foot. If he has surgery, he's out for the year. He's going to visit next week specialists in Indianapolis and Charlotte, hoping those specialists will look at that MRI and say, well, we think this, and you may not have to have surgery, and you might need to come back, might have a chance to come back at the end of the year, which might be playoff time. But Kubiak loves Matt Leinart. He talked him into coming back. They gave him $5.5 million over 2 years, $3.5 million guaranteed. They wouldn't have done that if Kubiak really didn't like him. Kubiak told me last year, even though he's not playing, he likes him in the meeting rooms. He likes the way he is in the dressing room with his teammates. He hears good things from his teammates. One of the stories we're going to do that I can't wait is he threw touchdown passes to Bryant Johnson. He set up Neil Rackers for field goals. Antonio Smith went against him every day in practice when he was the starter. And then, of course, they went with Kurt Warner, which was a smart thing to do. But you've seen, and it goes back, like Kurt Warner replacing Trent Green, Tom Brady replacing Brady. Why is it that you see teams rally around a situation like this?
Because they all have the same goal, one heartbeat. Their goal, the Houston Texans' goals, players, coaches, admin, is to get deep into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. They won't say Super Bowl publicly, but you best believe in meeting rooms in the locker room, those players are talking about how nice it would be to the Super Bowl, and they don't want the injury to one person, to 2 people, to 3 people, to just wash away their goals. So you'll just see all the people step up. With Tom Brady, I believe that was a different issue. You just had the greatest quarterback to play in the NFL backing up Drew Bledsoe. But when you talk about Trent Dilfer, when you talk about what happened with the New York Jets after Vinny Testaverde went down in 1999 and they still pulled off 9 wins that season, other guys step up because they continue to have the same goals. And your backup, Matt Leinart, he believes he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and I expect him to play like one. But with Kubiak on his side, in his ear, every play, every game, I really think he's going to have more success than people are expecting him to have. And you don't have to be great. When you look at what Matt Schaub did against Tampa Bay, they annihilated Tampa Bay, and Matt Schaub only threw the ball 15 times. When they beat Cleveland, he only threw for 119 yards, and in the 8th game of the week when they defeated Jacksonville, he had the lowest total of amount of passing yards for any starting quarterback that week, and they still dominated. And it's not because Matt Schaub's not a great quarterback. It's because he has a great offensive line. He has a great running back. He has tight ends that he could just check down to, and he doesn't have to throw for 300-400 yards. I think Matt Leinart is going to do just fine.
They got the great running game. They got the number 1 defense. He has an advantage of 2 weeks to get ready.
Right.
He's got Andre Johnson coming back. He's got everything in his favor. Kubiak's not going to have him throwing 25 yards down the middle. You know, he's going to roll out. He'll still run the bootleg. I think they've been facing 8-man fronts. And when people talk about 8-man in the box, they think that means all on the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't. Talk about 8 men in the box and how that affects the running game and what having Andre back might do to that.
I tell you what, that's a great point and a great question. When people hear 8 men in the box, sometimes the casual fan will believe that it's 8 guys with their hands in the dirt just playing the run. It's not that. It's a mentality, and it means your linebackers do play closer to the line because they do want to stop Arian Foster or Ben Tate. They want to fill every single gap. So you could have 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and an outside linebacker or a safety coming and just playing run, with run being the focus. It doesn't necessarily mean you just have 8 guys lined up, but when you do have Andre Johnson back, you best believe that safety or that extra linebacker whose focus is his main focus isn't going to be getting in that gap. It's going to be dropping in the zone or helping out with an Andre Johnson just to make sure he's not one-on-one with your defender.
Leinart's teammates say that he can make all the throws. They've seen him do it. He's got experience. You know how little light bulb goes off for a lot of quarterbacks who've been in the league a while, but it's the decision making. We're not going to know until we see him. Does he have the patience to throw the ball into the stands if the receiver's not there? Does he have the patience not to throw it over the middle and worry about a ricochet? I can't wait to see the decision making. What do you think about that?
Well,
how important is it?
It's very important because when you talk about quarterback, the reason it's the hardest position to play in the NFL is because of the decision making. It's not because of the physical toll it takes on your body. It's because you have to know what every position is doing. You have to know what the linemen are doing. You have to know every route that's being run. So it's all about decision making, and I think that's where you're going to see the benefit of having Coach Kubiak. Coach Kubiak is a micromanager when it comes to his quarterbacks, when it comes to his receivers. He's not going to really have to make decisions because I think Kubiak's going to take that away from him. I really expect to see Leinart being coached up the same way we're seeing Alex Smith coached up in San Francisco, where the coach is telling him, this is your number one option, this is your check down. If you don't have either one of those, just throw it out of bounds. And until he could prove that he could be the Aaron Rodgers type, the Tom Brady, the guy who can make the decisions or make the big plays on the run, he's not going to have to do that because Kubiak is going to be like a puppet pulling all the strings, and I believe that's a good thing.
And let's be honest, too, their schedule's not all that tough. When they come back, they're going against a rookie quarterback in Jacksonville. Then they come back here. Atlanta's going to be a tough game. Cincinnati will, too. But those last 3, Indy, Carolina, and Tennessee here, shouldn't be that difficult. T.J. Yates, the rookie's a heartbeat from playing in this next game against Jacksonville. What do you think about that?
The reason they drafted him, some people felt like they reached for him in the 5th round, is because he comes from the same system in college that they have here with the Texans. So that will concern me. Matt Leinart doesn't concern me that much, but if you get into a situation where T.J. Yates has to play an extended period of time, I think that's when you'll see Rick Smith and co. start shopping the waiver wire, seeing who's available. Obviously, you can't make any trades, but that's when you have concern. But they started the season so well and so strong. They've set themselves up to make the playoffs regardless of what else is going to happen. Tennessee would have to go on a heck of a run, and the Houston Texans will really have to drop off for them not to make the playoffs, even if T.J. Yates has to take some snaps.
I've heard so many experts, fans, media in Houston, oh, woe is us, it's the end of the world. I don't buy into it. You don't either.
Even with Matt Leinart, and you'll probably think I'm crazy and I'm drinking too much of this juice, I still think the Texans are a top 5 team. And I'll tell you the teams that from last week, the way they played, that I believe are the top 5, not in any particular order: Green Bay, the New York Giants, the New Orleans Saints, the 49ers, and the Houston Texans. And I think even with Matt Leinart starting, they're still a top 5 team.
That means you think they're the best in the AFC.
Yes.
Okay.